Okay, Tinker's Construct. To start, we're all familiar with the crafting table. Okay, pretty basic thing, right click, start to craft. Well, Tinker's Construct has a better one. Craft the crafting table. I know that's kind of meta, but place it down. And you have a basic crafting table, but this has one wonderful advantage. Say I want to go construct my pick, but say I was shy some wood or something of that nature, and I'm like, you know what, I don't want to craft that yet, and I walk away. Oh, look at that, it's almost like a chest. The 9 stacks of storage area in here, I can just leave things inside them. They don't go popping out all the time. It's my least favorite thing in Minecraft. And that by itself, if you use nothing in Tinker's Construct, use this. There's a whole new tool system that we're going to start from scratch building here. So, first things first, we need to create a pattern. So you've got some wood planks, you got some sticks, you put them in a cross pattern like so, and you have a pattern. I put wood planks on here, and I put in a blank pattern. I get what's called the stencil table, and this is pretty much the next thing that you want to build in Tinker's Construct. Why? Well, because all the parts require stencils, and we need blank patterns for those. So you saw me craft the pattern before. I'm not going to go through crafting a whole bunch. I'm just going to go with my stack of 64. There's about 24 patterns in total, and this is a really basic, straightforward, kind of stupid thing that you just sort of grab here. I've got my tool rod pattern. I click next pattern. I've got my pickaxe head pattern, next pattern, so on and so forth. So I'll save you the trouble, and I'll go ahead and create all 24 patterns. There we go. I've got an absolute pile of stuff in my inventory. Now, I'm going to want a chest, but not just any chest. I'm going to create a pattern chest, but I need to start with the chest to do that. We're going to do that guy right here, and then we're going to put a blank pattern on him. And I left the patterns over here in the stencil table, so I'm just going to go back, pick them up. Notice my chest is still in the crafting station. Nothing to be worried about, and boom, a pattern chest. I'm going to place the pattern chest right on the ground next to my stencil table. Now we're going to empty out all our stencils. Back to the drawing board, we take a piece of bark, we take a blank pattern, we get the part builder, and we're going to place it right next to the pattern chest. And if I right click on the part builder, there's my pattern chest. All the patterns I could want to use to create materials are all right there. And I don't have to go and pick them up and go over here and then put them over here. So I'm going to start with a wooden pickaxe. So I'm going to put the part that I want, the stencil, over in one of these sides, and it doesn't matter which one. I'm going to place some material in there, and kaboom, I've got a wooden pickaxe handle. I'm going to need a regular binding, and that is a half material cost. So if I use one wooden plank, I get both the wooden binding and a leftover stick. That's cool. Sticks are always good. Now, I could create a rod, but there's not much point because I already have it in the form of a wooden stick. We're going to create another crafting table. Put another blank pattern on top of it, and there's the tool station. Boom. This is where I can manufacture my tools, and I want to create my wooden pickaxe. So let's click on the pickaxe. It shows me how to construct the parts. I'm going to place them next to each other like so. And there's my wooden pickaxe. I'm going to demonstrate something regarding broken tools in Tinker's Construct. Boom, it broke. But you know what? It's still in my inventory. There it is. Broken pickaxe. Oh my goodness, what can I do with this? Well, not much. I'm almost tempted to say it's worse than your bare hand, but it probably isn't. However, I can go back over here and I can repair it in the tool station. Just place my broken tool right there and then place a material to repair it, and I'm as good as new. I'm back to where I was. We can create stone tools, but there's a caveat with stone tools. Stone tools require smooth stone. Okay? So we're going to go back to the part builder, and I'm going to go ahead and use my boring pickaxe again. We'll create a stone pickaxe. There's the stone pickaxe head. For durability's sake, I'm going to go ahead and use the binding. And notice I have a stone shard of leftover material, and I'll use a wooden stick. Go over to the tool station, click on my pickaxe, place the tools in their place, And for good measure, instead of using an anvil, I'm going to call this one my lucky pick up in the tool station here. This doesn't cost anything additional. I now have a lucky pick. I've covered wood and stone tools. What if I want to create some iron tools? Well, we might go to try that, and then you'd be disappointed. You'd place the iron down, and you'd realize, oh no. That's because you need to use casts to create metal tools with Tinker's Construct, and that will be for a later video. I do want to cover the next crafting table, but I have to cover a couple other concepts before I can do that. Main one is grout. So, you journey in the world, you find sand, you find gravel, and you find clay buried underwater, and you mix those three ingredients together and you get grout. And if you smelt this in a furnace, you get a seared brick, and then if you put 4 seared bricks together, you get these seared brick blocks. So that plus some iron is what's required to make the next tool forge. Right now this is a tool station. I'm going to upgrade it to a tool forge, so this requires a whopping 4 blocks of iron and then 3 of these seared bricks along the top. And that creates the next tier. We're going to create a hammer. We need a whopping 8 pieces of stone to create the hammer head. These guys are expensive. We need a nice tool rod. So the tough rod pattern is needed. There's my tough rod. And I need 2 plates. And each of these is a cost of 8 material. So, alright, and that's all the parts I need for a hammer. We're going to click on the hammer. Click on the hammer head here. Place the 2 plates and the tough tool rod. Da-da! And we have ourselves a hammer. Now this thing is a mining piece of work. I go down and I mine into the wall right here. Boom. That takes a whopping 9 blocks all at once. So even with the stone hammer, you can see you can do a decent amount of mining speed. And I haven't had to craft too many things. So this is pretty accessible right away, and it'll help with your ore extraction. There's one more nice feature that this tool has, and that is that if you'll notice at my hotbar, which you can't see because of any eye, I've got torches right next to the item. Well, if I right click, bam, I place a torch. There are these wonderful things called drying racks, and they are extremely easy to make. It's pretty much just 3 wooden slabs of any variety and a row on a crafting table like so. And you can put rotten flesh inside them, and they will turn into edible monster jerky. You can also put, any kind of raw food. Put some chicken in there, and maybe some raw beef or some beef jerky. And while these are for turning these types of food items into edible jerky items, they actually can carry any type of inventory items. So, want like a decorative kitchen. Open up an iron frying pan and place it there on the wall. Pretty much, if you make clotheslines, you can make all sorts of weird, sort of interesting designs with this little drying rack. We have jerky ready for the eating. This is monster jerky. This is rotten flesh dried out on a drying rack. This is chicken jerky, and this is beef jerky. And there's more things that you can actually hang on a drying rack to make some edible foods, but we'll get into that in a later video. And I think that's going to do it for this one.